What's going on, guys? Welcome to my channel. My name's Nikita. How you doing? Filming on my iPhone today because all my cameras are dead and we just moved into a new house. So without further ado, let's get into the video because I don't want to waste your time. In today's video, I want to talk about the brand new album by Pierce the Veil called Jaws of Life. Came out today, or whenever in the past that you're watching this or not watching it. Before we jump into the video, if you're new to the channel, feel free to subscribe, leave a comment down below. With all that out of the way, let's do it. Let's get into it. So after hearing the singles, I knew this was going to be a different type of album, especially given the reception from those singles, like reading some of the Instagram comments and things like that. I was like, okay, people either really like it or just really hate it. I was like, okay, I gotta go into it with an open mind. This is their first album in what, like 7 years? So they had a lot of shoes to fill, going into it. So what do I think personally? I think it's pretty good. I was never a Pierce the Veil like diehard fan, how some people are. Like, I remember back in like the Warped Tour days, like Pierce the Veil was like the absolute shit for some people, and they would go absolutely wild for them. But I just wasn't one of those people. I liked some of their music, not all of it. I was kind of neutral about them. But when I heard Emergency Contact, I got kind of intrigued. I was like, I actually kind of really like this song. It's pretty dope, really vibey. I was digging it, listened to it a couple more times, and I was really jamming. I was like, okay. So I decided to go on Instagram and just to see what people thought of it, because it was very different from their traditional sound. And people were like bashing it. They were like, this sucks. It's just awful. The other singles suck. And I don't know, I liked it. So I waited patiently for the album to come out, and it came out today. I gave it a firm listen. And here's what you can legitimately expect from this album, in my opinion. It's not what you think it is if you haven't already heard it. The singles do set a good precedent for the rest of the album because it all flows in kind of the same way. It's not like the singles are a misleading representation of the album. I mean, it's a pretty decent picture into what the entire thing is going to sound like. Also, my impression of it was that, they didn't try too hard on it, it seems like. I mean, from giving it a couple listens, it just seems like it's pretty simple. There's nothing that's too much or too big or too small. It's kind of just right there. They're not doing anything extra. They're just, this is what you get, Instrumentally, especially, it doesn't really sound like, anything that's gonna blow your head off. Nothing that you haven't really heard before. It's pretty simple. But I think it works for this type of album. Again, if you kind of throw away what Pierce the Veil used to sound like, or you're just okay with change. I know some people aren't with certain bands. I'm not either. But if you're okay with change, I think you'll enjoy it. There's definitely some tracks that stand out, and there's definitely, for me, there's definitely tracks that stand out, and there's some that just fall flat. For example, for me, I really liked Resilience, different type of track, really kind of instrumentally and just catchy all around. I really enjoyed it. Even When I'm Not With You, another one. A lot of people really didn't like that one. I don't know, I listened to it, it hit my eardrum right, and I really liked it. Also, about the vocals, they almost sound like you're really high and you're lazy and kind of in pain at the same time, if that makes sense. They're almost whiny and kind of lethargic and tired, almost lazy, kind of feeling. That's what I get from the vocals on this record. But just to wrap this all up so you can go listen to it yourself, pretty decent record, nothing out of the ordinary here. The wheel has definitely not been invented. It's definitely a different sound for Pierce the Veil as a whole. And it kind of falls into its own little corner of music where, it's pretty much the same tone throughout the entire album. Nothing really goes up and down. It's very, very in line with what it is, and you're gonna get what you expect out of it. And my advice would be to give it a couple listens and just like it for the music, because it is pretty good. It's good because it's so simple, more or less. Is what I think makes it actually kind of good. It doesn't overwhelm you with too much. It doesn't ask too much of you. It's there for you to listen to, and for me, it would be easy listening, chill, easy listening. So that's that. Out of 10, I give it about a 6.5. I mean, it's a decent album. It's not incredible. It's not amazing. It definitely has some good tracks on it. It has some filler tracks on it, of course, and it has some tracks on it. So, you know, take it with a grain of salt if you want. Listen to it yourself and let me know what you thought about it. So, have you heard it? If you have, let me know what you thought about it. If you haven't, go listen to it. Go into it with an open mind and listen to it for the music. Because that's all it really is. It's music, and we're all supposed to just enjoy it and have a good time. So, thank you for watching. Again, hit the subscribe button if you want. Leave a comment if you wish, and I will see you in the next video. Peace, guys.